HVAC people!
All right, let's see if we can get her up here. All right. So I got 28 psi nitrogen in here. I got a unit complaint where that it was not cooling. So I came up to the unit and on LED 1 and 2, I had a solid. On LED 3, I had a green blink. So 1 and 2, I had a solid red. LED 3, I had a green blink. LED 4 and 5 was off. So I came to my code here. LED 1 and 2 red was solid. I had a blink on green. 4 and 5 was off. All right, I think my camera cut off somewhere. But that alarm tell me red, green, blank, blank. That I have a high or a low pressure switch fault. So I mean my high or my low pressure switch over. So I can't hook my gauges up. I had 0 psi. Both of these circuits are actually one circuit, 2 compressors on one circuit. But 0 psi, that means you got a significant leak somewhere. And usually, and from my experience, whenever I have a 0 psi, it's somewhere in the condenser section. There's high pressure, and a lot of times you lose all the charge, especially when it was just working a month ago. I did a maintenance on these units in early part of May, and everything was perfect. But anyway, I had about 30 psi of nitrogen in here. As soon as I started putting nitrogen in here, I think I started out with like 50 psi. I heard it immediately, and I don't know if you can hear it, but got a leak right here. When I first seen it, these two pieces was touching each other like this, and I kind of bended them out. But you can see where it kind of rubbing right here, but it's not leaking right here. But I probably need to hit that also, but it's leaking on this back side back here. Like I say, so whenever you hook up to a unit though, you got 0 psi, you might want to start here. Usually if it's in the evaporator, a lot of times it'll be a slow leak. But you can have 0 psi at the evaporator too, but like I say, if I don't have any refrigerant in my system, I always start at the condenser section. Yeah, that's it right there. That's an easy fix. I'm just gonna braze it, sand it down a little bit and braze it. You know, some people are gonna be like, put a coupling on there or 90. If you put I always just like to put a little braze on mine, and it'll hold up. Cause you gotta think about it. If you was to put a 90 on here, you can cut it right here, and put a 90 on it. Then once you braze that, you gotta braze all the way around you. So you have more chance of a leak in the future because you got 2 joints that you need to braze. So it's best to just sand it down, put you a little cap on there, and that cap will hold up. That's what we do. That's the way I would talk, especially in commercial. All right, so I'm gonna prep and see if I can repair that. So I'm gonna release release that charge. And all my goal is today, because it's late, it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna weigh in the charge, but I'm gonna do all that tomorrow. I'm gonna come back early in the morning and pull a vacuum on it. Pull a vacuum and just weigh it in. It holds 31 pounds. I only have a 25-pound drum in my truck. This supply house probably about 15 or 20 minutes away, but by the time I get there, they'll be closed. So they just gonna have to wait till tomorrow. Yeah, we gotta wait till tomorrow. We'll get them charged up. I actually got a brand new bottle, 410A at the house too. I'll just load that up tomorrow. And yeah, the office workers, they probably don't usually get here till about 9 o'clock, and it's 5 o'clock now. They already gone home for the day. So if I get here about 7, I'll have them cooling by the time they get here tomorrow. Oh man, I ain't bring me no sticks up here. A little piece of stick might be all I need though for that little bit. My little stick. So that's where I need to be, right here on this little end right here, little indention. Right, that's all gold. Right there. Where we need to be, right there. Put a little cap on there. right there. That's it right there. Yeah. That's it right there. We go ahead and put a little piece right here where it was rubbing that also. That's it right there though. That's it right there. I ain't think about covering that TXV up, but it ain't get hot at all. Cause we studied long, we studied wrong. It ain't get hot. Word to the wise though, if you ever brazing close to a TXV, just go ahead and cover it up with a wet rag or something, just in case. But I think we should be fine. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna put about a 250 psi or the rest of that bottle of nitrogen in here, and hopefully that's the only leak this system has. And then I'll come and check it tomorrow. I'm gonna take my gauges with me, but I'm gonna have about 250 psi nitrogen in here, and when I come back, we should be still close to that 250. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna hit this with some more nitrogen. If I had enough refrigerant though, I'd get them up and running today, but unfortunately I don't have any. So that's enough right there to do my leak search. I got about 13 psi. Right, as you can see, no leaks. Alright, so that's the initial leak search. 13, let's put a little bit more in there. So also, I don't have a lockout tag out on me, but since I'm have it with nitrogen overnight, I usually give me a big tie strap, and I just put a tie strap on here, so I won't nobody turn that unit on. But they have some maintenance guys come around here, check filters and stuff like that. So I already talked to the facility manager, let them know what I was going to do, but just in case. I just heard a pressure switch close, sound like See, and that pressure switch just closed, so if you turn that unit on, it will fire up with that nitrogen in there. You don't want that. So I got 132 in there right now. So I got 134. That's good for me. Yeah. Like I say, the office workers, they leave at about 5, so in some situations you have overnight workers, they'll want you to go open up a store or something, go get their refrigerant so you can get them up and running. Because I have been there working for these commercial facilities. I've done been out 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Then had to get back right back up in the morning. To be at a scheduled call for 7 a.m. or something. Should be holding steady about 134. Yeah, there we go, 134. That's what we want to see right there. All right, so I'm gonna get ready to wrap. Like I say, I come back first thing in the morning, pull a vacuum, and we're just way in the charge. So it takes 31 pounds, 31.5. 410A comes with a 25-pound drum, so we put 25 and then 6 out the other one. 6.5. All right, see? That's why it's good to work for yourself. I call the shots. I ain't got no supervisor or no manager telling me I need to stay here until the job done. I don't want to stay here till the job done. Office workers, they ain't getting in here till 9 o'clock in the morning, and ain't nobody down there now. I think it's best for me to come back in the morning, and it's hot out here. I'm finna go home. Found the problem, fixed the problem. I'm gonna come back in the morning and finish up. See? I'm the boss. Call my own shot. See? Ain't got nobody telling me, hey, Stacy, no, you need to stay there until that job is done. No, I'm not staying here. Ain't nobody down there. You can wait till in the morning. Boss man. All right, we back. Got the sun to the east. I tell you this, 7 a.m. feels a lot better than 5 p.m. But we
ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna get my vacuum pump. All I gotta do is pull a vacuum. I'm thinking about bringing my recovery tank up and just weighing in 32 pounds. So I won't risk flooding my compressor or anything. But that vacuum might suck in a half a drum or a whole drum, I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on a vacuum. Think I might need a little small extension cord. Think I got power outlets on the unit. I'll tell you one thing though, that 410A, hey, it has tripled in prices within the last month. Next thing you know, 410A for the be same cost as R22. I'm gonna go ahead and rock and roll. It's probably about 7:15 a.m. I should be out to the roof probably about 9:15. All right. So I had a nitrogen charge overnight. So I'm just releasing the charge. I'm gonna get ready to pull a vacuum. I will hook my vacuum rig up, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull it through the gauges. Pull it back through the gauges. Put the micron gauge probably on this port right here. I'm gonna put my magnet on here just in case. Make sure that's open. Probably should have put a magnet on here first, but it's all good. I didn't think about that yesterday. But let's see here. Wanted to, I can also attach this hose here into one of the ports and probably pull a faster vacuum, but ain't in that. We ain't in too much of a hurry. Just want to make sure it's right for them. So open all these up, let this one close, set this right here. Let's be ready to roll. Hello, pressure's still in there. A little nitrogen still in there. So I just changed my oil yesterday. Also probably had a little bit of overfill. Overfilled it just a little bit. All right, so we just play the waiting game now. I'll do some paperwork. All right, so I did say that I was just about to do some paperwork, but I'm actually doing it on the iPad digitally. But that's something that's really not talked about a lot in this trade. You have to be able to write. You have to be able to write complete sentences. You have to be able to explain what you've done on the job site.
in really detailed fashion. I like to do mine in bulletins. Some people like to write in paragraphs. I do mine in bullet, line by line. You know what I've done. Like I say, you have to be able to write. You have to be able to describe, you know, exactly what you've done, so you can justify getting paid for what have you done. Like on this job here, I put everything in bulletin. Came to the unit and found that the unit was in a low pressure alarm. Secondly, hooked up my gauges and found that the unit had no pressure, 0 PSI. Second thing I done, I did a leak search with nitrogen and soap bubbles, and found that I had a leak on the one of the liquid line. Copper was rubbing each other and created a leak. Then we started repairing the leak by brazing. After we repaired the leak by brazing, we did another leak search with nitrogen. We did a pressure hold. Well, we did a leak search with the soap bubbles. Also, we did a pressure hold. The unit held pressure overnight, so we proceeded to pull a vacuum on the unit, and then we're going to charge the unit up, and then we'll verify proper operation. You have to be able to describe all that, because a lot of times if you just do like maybe like a one sentence, unit was low on Freon, found the leak, repaired the leak, all that's fine and dandy, but a lot of companies, you know, they want to see detail. You know, they want to justify that they spend this, that this is not a cheap repair. This is expensive repair. I work with a service manager. He used to say, hey, it's like building a hamburger. He needs some meat, he needs some lettuce and tomatoes on that hamburger. You don't want like just bread and a little thin piece of salami or something. You want a nice beefy hamburger. So you want your bread, you want tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, onions. You want all that good stuff in there, you know, when you're describing it. That's why if you don't have a GED, I highly recommend you get a GED. At least, you have to at least have a GED to get in this trade, or high school diploma or equivalent, because you have to be able to write. So that's something you really want to practice on. A lot of companies, if you can't write or you can't explain, you know, what you've done, you can be a great technician, but if you can't write it down and you can't justify them getting paid, you're really not a good technician. So, for those out there that need to work on their writing, work on your writing. Learn. So, an easy thing to work on your writing, get the modern refrigeration handbook. They got a glossary in the back there. Learn all the parts. I know when I first got in the trade, I couldn't really remember, okay, what was a contactor? What is a capacitor? The basics. You want to get those down packed. Because you might be able to troubleshoot a contactor, but you got to remember what was that you troubleshot. So, like a filter dryer, you want to get those, that vocabulary down, like a condenser fan motor. When you first in the trade, you got to remember that type of stuff. You got to remember refrigerant. You got another thing, you need to be able to spell also. You got to be able to spell refrigerant, spell condenser fan motor. And don't worry, so if you're not a good speller, use Google, spell check it, everything that you, that you write down. So, because when you trying to say, let's say condenser fan motor, but you actually put contactor down there, condenser fan motor, condenser fan motor is a big price difference than a contactor. So if you go down there and you charge $880 for a contactor, but you meant to put condenser fan motor, that's a problem. And it's hard to justify that when it come down to billing. And a lot of times, especially when you're doing commercial properties, you might not get you may not get paid till like 30 days out, or they might not bill till 30 days out. Now maybe your service manager going back 30 days from now looking at the report, you can't even really remember because you done so many jobs, but on your paperwork you put down contactor when you actually purchase a condenser fan motor. So those things we need to be mindful of. Because I know it's not talked about that much, but you, like I say, you need to be able to write, you need to be able to spell, and that just justifying what you've done. Because it may even come to a point of time that the company is not getting paid, and you may even have to go to court. I've seen some cases where you had to go to court. If you have, like I say, contractor written down on there, but you charge $880 for the condenser fan motor, and some of these condenser fan motors could be pricey. You might pay $5,000 or charge $5,000 for a condenser fan motor. And like I say, if you put contractor down there, and the contractor, some contractors are expensive too. You have contractors like $800, but you see where the mix-up can get. So for those who need to work on their writing, work on your writing, be able to explain exactly what you've done. Like I say, go on the glossary, start learning their vocabulary. That's the vocabulary we want to start learning. You know, the back of the book, so we can actually justify what we have done when we was on the job site. All right, hope you enjoyed that tip, and I hope that helped some people out. All right, so I got right out at I think I got about 6 pounds in here. This is a 25-pound drum. So I'm just start with this one first and releasing the charge. This is my discharge line right here, so I just put that back on because we just want to charge it as a liquid right now. That should be about 6 pounds right there. And unit hose 31 pounds. So if I can get the rest of this 410A drum in here, that'll be my 31. About 513. So I'm gonna close this. See, that's totally empty right there, pretty much. That's right at 6 pounds right there. And I got another drum of 410A also, but I think this should do me. That'll be a total of 31 pounds. Zero that out. Let's see how much we can get in there. So I'll start taking my vacuum pump down, and like I said, I may bring my recovery tank up, but I'm gonna see how much it'll go in by itself. All right, so we still going in there slowly but surely. I got about 9.5. Look like it's probably going slow now. Like probably gonna get about 10 pounds out of this one. So it's 15 more pounds in this drum. The pressure switch should be closed, the low pressure switch. So this is probably gonna charge the rest of it up with the compressor. Just charge it slowly, and we'll get that 25 pounds in there by opening up my suction. But like I said, I'm gonna go take my vacuum pump down though, and just let much as that. Look like we want to stop though at probably about 9.6 pounds. So I'm gonna turn the unit on. I probably have to go down to the thermostat and turn it on, or I can jump it out up here. I think I brought some jumpers. All right, we'll see what it's gonna do naturally. So what I'm gonna do is put this panel on here. We don't have any alarms anymore. See, now I just got one LED blinking and a LED 3 blinking. Which is good. Like I say, when I first arrived yesterday, LED 1 and 2 was red. Probably take a minute for it to cycle through. Good. We got 24 volts to red. It's my fan. 27. Y1. No call for Y1, but my fan should be starting. I can hear it ramping up. Yep. So the fan is ramping up. So we got a call for fan. As you can see, 27 volts to fan. No call for cool yet. All right. Let's go take a look at the thermostat. I can jump it out if I wanted to, but I need to take a trip down anyway. All right, so also before I go down, I want to crack my suction just a little bit because I know I'm not going to overcharge it because, and we know we're 15 pounds short, and I don't want to go off on low suction while I'm downstairs. So I'm just gonna barely crack this a little bit, just barely crack it. So I'm not gonna flood out a compressor or anything, but when it do kick on, it's gonna start charging it, so it won't go off on low suction. So it was flat on refrigerant. Yeah, had a leak.
Is there a way we can put a code on that?
I actually told Jake I meant to call Carrier and try to find out, because it's so. All right, so I'm gonna set this to about 67, 66. This ain't cool mode. The guy was asking me how I lock this thing, because this thing go way down to like 50 something. and they've been having a problem because the employees come and turn it down this far. And I tell them that 57 does not mean it's going to blow any colder. You're just going to try to stay on until they get to 57, which is never going to reach 57. So basically, you can look at this thermostat right here like a timer. I mean, the unit gonna try to run until you reach this set point, but it's not gonna blow any colder. All right, so it should be on. Yeah, here. Man, that was fast. I swear I just ran up there that quick. It's already almost 25 pounds in here. Suck that whole bottle up just that fast. 130 over 324. See if we can get. It's a perfect charge right there. I was only gone, see, about 3 minutes. Suck that whole drum in there, just that fast. Totally empty. Totally empty. Well, that's what we want though. Here say freeze alarm, but I have no alarms on my board. It's probably reading a, since that cold refrigerant going there, probably has some type of thermal cup on there. See, as you see now, it is 25 on Y1. And it's calling for cool. So we have no alarm, so it should be good to go. When I weigh in the charge on these package units, really no reason for me to up and fell down there. If I weigh in the charge, factory charge on these package units, I don't check superheater, subcool, or anything like that. Pressure look good. I know the filter's been changed, and that's all you can do is just weigh in the charge. So, yeah, that was good to go though. See if we can get them the last little gas in there. See the 31.5. That's what we got in there, about 31.5. I think this box probably weighs about 1 pound. So like I say, I'm trying to get all that little gas out of there. Open that all the way on up. See if we get much out of it we can. Sometimes it's hard to get the last little pound out of there. So, like I said, it holds 31.5. So if we have like 30.5 or 31, I think it should be fine. Or even if we over a pound. All right, I'm getting ready to wrap this one up though. All right, thanks for watching.